Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 1. The topic today are language learning theory and characteristic of young children. Language learning theory in young children. Young learners are often more enthusiastic and lively as learners. They will have a go at an activity even when they don't quite understand. Young learners more embrace than adults and they talking with new language. There are two major theories in developmental psychology, Piaget and Vygotsky. The first is Piaget, the child as active learner. Consider how young children function in the world that surrounds them and how this influences their mental development. The child is an active learner alone in the world of the object. The Piagetian point of the development thinking that can manipulate formal abstract categories using rules of the logic and help to be available to children before they reach 11 years of age or more. There are two ways different of Piagetian psychology in which development as a result of the activity. For the first is assimilation and the second is accommodation. Assimilation happens when action takes place without any change to the child. Therefore, accommodation involves the child adjusting to features of the environment in some way. Implication of Piagetian theory for language learning. The child as sense maker. Children seek out intention and purpose in what they see from the other people doing, bringing their knowledge and experience to their attempt to make sense of the other action and language. The world as offering opportunities for learning. If we take Piaget's idea that children adapt to experience with objects in their environment and rotate them, we can see how the environment provides the setting for development through the opportunity it offers the child to act. Transferring these ideas metaphorically to the abstract world of the learning and ideas, we can think of the class and the classroom activity as creating and offering learner opportunity to learn.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nabil Nafis Al-Faramadi. I would like to present the next theory. It is about Vygotsky theory. The first is the child as social. Vygotsky theory is the most not currently, but his theory is labeled as socio-cultural because he did not neglect the individual and individual cognitive development. Vygotsky theory is about the development and learning in social context, where we can differentiate Piaget and Vygotsky theory in example. In a world full of other people who interact with the child from birth onward. For Piaget, the example means the child an active learner alone in the world of object, but for Vygotsky, it may the child is an active learner in a world full of other people. In this case, other people around of children have important thing to help children to learn by giving them object and ideas to use it. We have known that this story is very useful to make children understand faster than they understand on their own. For example is, children may be easy to take spoon and fill it to their mouth, but they will be difficult to get a food by their spoon and the food into their mouth. Hence, though children have intelligence, but they still need a guiding to do something rightly. The next is implications of Vygotsky theory for language learning. The first implication is words and meaning, where a word is very important for children learning language. Also, who developed Vygotsky theory has deployed this unit. Often parents teach their children words in the new language by giving them an object that they can see and touch, and that has single word labels in the first language. From the first learning, the children will be encouraged to think of a new language as a set of words. The second is the zone of proximal development. ZPD, or the zone of proximal development, is a way to connect the learning with the development. Learning to development. Many of Vygotsky ideas will help in constructing a theoretical framework for teaching foreign language to children. We can use the idea that children try to mediate what next years the child can learn in deciding what a teacher can do support learning. This has application in both lesson planning and in how teachers talk to students minute by minute. In the next chapter, Vygotsky developed a framework for analyzing classroom text that incorporate the nation of the ZPD. We can look the text how they help a child to move in language skills from interpersonal to intrapersonal. The next is about learning as internalization. The concept of internalizations will be used in the next chapter to understand learning process in the foreign language. The new language is first used meaningfully by teachers to students, and later it is transformed and internalized to become part of the individual child's language skill or knowledge.
B. Characteristic of young learners. Some young learners have their own characteristics. There are some of the generally characteristics that teachers and parents should know. The first is they have short attention span. According to Gerard, the children can take long in learning English. In no time they will get bored, but if they engage in interesting activities, then they can last quite a long time. The second is young learners like playing, such as love story, fantasy, drawing, imagination, drawing, and coloring. Next is they respond well to praising. Always encourage them and praise their work. And the next is have a difficulties in knowing what is fact and what is fiction. Starting classroom teaching with something the child can touch or see is more effective, like starting teaching about color, fruit, food, drink, or body parts. The next is they are less shy than older learners. Ask them to repeat utterances, resort to mechanical drills. And the next is children have already imagination. Children words are full of imagination and fantasy, and it is more than simply a matter of enjoyment. And then they enjoy learning through playing. Young learners learn best when they learn through games. And the next is they enjoy imitating and skillful in listening accurately and mimicking what they have heard. And the last is they have limited writing and reading skills even in their first language.
Okay, the next is in the book Teaching English to Children, Scott and Whiteberg classify children into two main groups. First group is 5 to 7 years old children, and the second group is 8 to 10-year-old children. All of them have different characteristics. Nah, jadi klasifikasi dari anak-anak ini ada 2 macam. Young learners ini ada 2 macam. Yang pertama umur 5 sampai 7 tahun, yang kedua umur 8 sampai 10 tahun. All of them have different characteristics. For the first group, 5 to 7 years old, children have some characteristics as follows. The first is they can tell you about their activities. Jadi mereka tuh udah bisa menceritakan tentang kegiatan mereka, aktivitas mereka, udah bisa bercerita intinya. Dan yang next, they can tell you about something that they have done or heard. Mereka juga sudah bisa menceritakan sesuatu yang mereka lihat atau mereka dengar. The next is they can plan activities. The next, and they can argue something and tell you their thought. Mereka juga sudah bisa menceritakan apa yang ada di pikiran mereka. The next is they can use logical reasoning. And the next is they can use their imagination. Nah, children itu have already imagination. Children words are full of imagination and fantasy, and it is more than simple matter of enjoyment. Jadi, supaya imajinasi mereka itu bisa tetap berkembang, kita sebagai guru nantinya bisa memberikan mereka permainan atau kegiatan yang melatih imajinasi mereka. Tujuannya untuk apa? Tujuannya untuk mendorong mereka, anak-anak, untuk berkomunikasi dan supaya lebih bisa berkomunikasi dengan teman-teman. Contohnya kita bisa memberikan permainan kata itu supaya imajinasi mereka itu bisa lebih berkembang. The next is they can use wide range of intonation in their mother tongue way. And the next is they can understand situation quicker than understanding the language used. Artinya mereka itu tidak belajar melalui lisan saja. Mereka bisa belajar dengan apa yang mereka lihat, situasi yang mereka lihat, situasi yang mereka dengar, dan mereka juga bisa mengerti dengan siapa mereka berinteraksi. Jadi kita sebagai guru nantinya bisa mengajak mereka untuk menyanyi, menari, ataupun bermain games supaya mereka juga tidak bosan. The next is they can understand through physical word. Jadi as you know that physical word itu adalah sesuatu yang dapat dilihat dengan mata. Jadi ada bukti fisiknya gitu loh. Jadi kalau kalian menjelaskan kepada mereka this is a book, mereka nggak akan ngerti kalau yang kalian maksud itu buku, tapi mereka bisa ngerti kalau kalian memberikan contoh dengan membawa buku, kayak misal this is a book, dan di tangan kalian itu kalian membawa buku. Nah, itu baru mereka bisa ngerti, karena mereka lebih mengerti kalau mereka ditunjukkan barangnya gitu, apa yang bisa mereka lihat gitu. Contoh lain, this is a window. Kalau kalian bilang kalau kalian sih mengerti this is window itu adalah apa, jendela, tapi mereka nggak akan mengerti kalau nggak ditunjukkan. Jadi mereka bisa mengerti kalau itu jendela, kalian harus nunjuk sesuatu itu. Misal this is window ya, kalian sambil nunjuk window this is book, kalian sambil membawa buku agar mereka lebih mengerti, karena mereka mengerti physical word gitu. The next is they cannot differentiate the fact and fiction. Jadi mereka tuh masih belum bisa mengetahui fakta sama fiksi. Ya, seperti yang saya as I talked before, kalau anak-anak itu hanya bisa mengerti kalau dijelaskan dengan contoh. Mereka tuh bakal mengerti kalau menggunakan penjelasan yang kalian jelasin itu menggunakan gambar atau memulai penjelasan kalian dengan sesuatu yang dapat disentuh atau dilihat. Nah, nanti si anak ini nanti bisa mengerti, dan itu adalah salah satu cara yang efektif untuk membuat mereka paham dengan penjelasan kalian dengan menggunakan gambar itu tadi, biar tahu faktanya itu kayak gini, kalau ini tuh beneran buku gitu. The next is they are very self-centered. Jadi mereka itu lebih ke tidak bisa bekerja sama, mereka itu egois gitu, karena itu adalah karakteristik mereka. The next is they like to pretend that they understand something then to ask about it. Jadi mereka itu suka berpura-pura mengerti sesuatu daripada bertanya. Jadi mereka itu takut buat bertanya sih. Jadi maka dari itu mereka suka berpura-pura mengerti. The next is they like playing. Jadi mereka tuh sangat suka sekali bermain ya. Kalian sebagai guru nantinya tidak cukup untuk melakukan sesuatu atau menjelaskan sesuatu dengan lisan. Agar mereka paham, kalian bisa lebih kreatif untuk membuat mereka belajar sambil bermain. Contohnya mengajak mereka untuk menggambar atau mengajak mereka untuk mewarnai. Jadi seimbang antara belajar sambil bermain agar mereka juga tidak bosan, karena salah satu karakteristik yang sudah dijelaskan sama Mbak Hanun tadi di atas itu mereka lebih cepat bosan. Agar mereka nggak bosan, caranya yaitu belajar sambil bermain gitu. The next is they are enthusiastic and positive about learning. Jadi mereka tuh sangat antusias seperti yang dijelaskan sama Mbak Baby. Mereka tuh antusias about learning karena mereka masih baru pertama belajar. Okay, the last is for the second group, 8 to 10 years old children have some characteristics as follows. The first is they can differentiate the fact and fiction. Kalau yang umur 8 sampai 10 tahun ini, mereka itu lebih mengerti antara fakta sama fiksi. They like to ask question. Jadi mereka itu lebih aktif dalam bertanya. They understand spoken words and physical words. Jadi mereka tuh kalau yang umur 8 sampai yang 10 tahun ini, mereka lebih bisa bekerja sama dengan kelompok, dan mereka cenderung tidak egois karena mereka sudah bisa bekerja kelompok dan lebih mengerti. The next is they understand abstrak. Jadi mereka lebih mengerti tentang hal abstrak. Kayak misal kalian menjelaskan this is a book. Kalau mereka udah tahu artinya bahwa itu buku, kalian tidak usah memberikan contoh dengan membawa sebuah buku untuk memberikan contoh bahwa this is a book itu buku. Beda sama yang umur 5-7 tahun tadi. Mereka lebih bisa mengerti kalau ada bukti fisiknya gitu. And the last is they understand symbols. 8 to 10-year-old children are relatively mature children. They can decide what to learn when to 5 to 7 years old children cannot. Children like learning something through movement and games because they like playing and understand physical words more than spoken words. Kalau yang umur 8-10 tahun itu mereka lebih mengerti apa yang harus mereka pelajari, apa yang harus mereka kerjakan gitu. Kalau anak-anak yang umur 5-7 tahun tadi masih belum bisa. Dan anak-anak itu suka mempelajari sesuatu tidak hanya dengan lisan, tetapi dengan permainan atau gerakan. Karena mereka because they are like to playing dan lebih memahami physical words more than spoken words. Jadi memang itu karakteristik dari young learners. Mereka suka bermain dan mereka lebih mengerti physical words more than spoken words. Okay, that's all from us. If you have question, you can ask. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.